Haley.
It's Lana.
It's Alex.
And you're watching CHAvlogs.
Alright.
So today...
It's Real Talk Tuesday.
Real Talk Tuesday.
Woo!
Yeah.
So today's Real Talk Tuesday, we're going to be talking about gender roles.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. So basically, as probably you guys all know, gender is kind of, or it is, a construct made by society, and gender roles kind of, they filter into that. It's where specific attributes are assigned to a specific gender, which,
is like a little bit
dusty.
Okay, I guess I'll start off since mine's more like basic. It's not too,
Not too.
So we have some things written down this time.
geez.
We're prepared. We're ready.
We're ready.
So, basically my first thing was just like men in makeup. I think is a big thing. I think now it's more accepted, like coming into like 2017. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know. I just don't think, because for me, a lot of people also makeup is just an issue in general. But to me, makeup is kind of like a form of self-expression. It's like an art, a lot of people take pride in. So why is it that like it's not okay for a man to wear makeup? Mm-hmm. Why can't he express himself the way a woman might express themselves? And why is that an issue? Because a lot of people think femininity, I can't say that word, I hate it.
That's right.
Like, why does that automatically, like, make someone, like, why does that translate to someone being gay? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, why is it because, like, a guy wants to wear something that's seen as feminine, why is he gay for that? Because femininity has, like, no correlation to your sexuality.
True.
That's just me, though. That's my opinion. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I guess kind of going off of what she's saying about men in makeup, I actually wrote a little bit about men in makeup as well. I was talking about, or thinking about gender roles and masculinity, because I know that's kind of a highly debated issue as far as, So when I was thinking about masculinity and gender roles, I thought it was really interesting that when we think of something like masculinity, when it comes to something like makeup, society gives itself permission to take away masculinity based on what the individual is wearing or doing. But at the same time, because we have these gender roles, masculinity is something that's also given, such as when female Olympic athletes, they're very muscular, they play a lot of sports, they're very active, and society sometimes feels the need to kind of see them as more masculine, as, they're not beautiful, they're not soft like a woman should be, they're not this or that, which is all myths that we made up because of our social construct of gender.
Yeah, right. Honestly, like, masculinity, those ideas itself, like, masculinity and femininity, like, they're really just, like, they just go into the, like, the constructs of gender roles.
Right,
and honestly, I don't see why we put so much importance on, like, oh, a man has to be masculine, or, like, a woman can't be, or, like, vice versa, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, I just don't see why any of it matters.
Definitely.
It's just another way to, like, put someone into a category.
Right.
Which is
Yeah,
what we
exactly.
love to do as a society, is put people in categories and, make things.
And additionally, like, with that is kind of touching back on what you were saying earlier, is like women who are seen as masculine or men who are seen as feminine are automatically, like, assumed to not, like, people assume things about their sexuality, which of course, like, that's not okay. Like, you can't just assume based on that.
So I did write also about, like, the ideas of, like, being, like, feminine versus masculine, and, like, how that affects, like, black men, like, amongst the black community, because I feel as though, like, as a black man, they're placed at a different standard of, like, having to be masculine, and, like, a lot of the time, like, when it comes, like, I've heard a lot of stories about, like, different black leaders who have been known to be, like, famous, like, black rights, all this stuff, but a lot of the time, those black leaders only, like, supported blacks, like, that weren't, like, trans blacks, like, gay blacks. Like, why is it that it's different? Like, because you're black, you have to be, like, as a man, I guess, you have to be more, like, you're not allowed to be feminine. Like, why does your race, like, tell you, like, why is that another added, like, layer to the whole?
I think in a certain extent it kind of also goes towards the women. I know there's the stereotype of the strong black woman where black women aren't allowed to show their emotions. They're not allowed to show, the softer side of them. And some of that does date back to how black women were first treated in society.
Wait, hold on. I think Alex had the same idea. So it's a difficult, I feel like, for a black woman to kind of feel like she fits in, because if in her own community she has to behave one way, but then it's seen as wrong out in, like, the general population, like, how are you supposed to, figure out what you're supposed to do,
What you were just saying about, like, how you're supposed to be strong, you guys know like Kodak Black, like the rapper. He's hecka dusty. I don't know why people like him anyway, but like he was saying that he doesn't like dark-skinned black women because they're too tough. So like they're too like strong, and light-skinned black women are easier to like break down than like a dark-skinned black woman.
It does relate to gender roles because it's
I think honestly gender roles kind of just like, I wrote this down, like it kind of just plays into a bigger, like it might seem like it's something small. I feel like this with everything, like everything might seem like it's so small, but it plays into a bigger cycle
There's a bigger
of issues
picture
in this like society. Like even if you think about it, like it plays into like, I could say like, I feel like it plays into rape culture as well, like gender roles, just because like, I don't know, just because the way like...
Right, how it's like certain things men do are accepted because it adds to their masculinity and then adds to this like concept.
Exactly. And then women, like if they do it, it takes away from their femininity. Like another one, I think, is just gender roles in relationships, I think are a big issue because like women are expected to cook, clean, do the laundry, do all these things, and like
so like
wait on a man because they're a woman. But like,
and
why
I think
is
that
it
also too like gender roles? It's interesting because it's like this like heteronormative idea. I feel like people often like try to apply to same-sex couples,
like just like who's the man, who's the woman, but it's like.
Wait,
what does that even mean? Like, why?
We're both
men. We're
neither. Like,
no, exactly. Like,
why does one have to be any of the other?
Why do we have to?
Like, why can't we just be in a relationship? Like,
I hate that. Like, you need to man up kind of thing because it.
Saying like to man up. Like, what does that mean? Like, you just like.
It perpetuates again like the men have to be strong and tough, and that men aren't allowed to like show a softer side of themselves.
Yeah, I don't like how like the real men don't cry. Like
that's
which is not true. That teaches men
I had to get on my mom the other day
their emotion
for that because she was like, oh, like she's telling my brother, she's like, oh, you're too sensitive. Like you can't be sensitive. All of a sudden, I'm like, mom, like he's a human. He's gonna have emotions. Like just because he's a boy, or you know, just because of this gender, this sex, this all these things, like. Doesn't mean he can't have emotions like anybody else. Like, why is it that because he's a man, he can't cry? Like, everybody cries. Like, it's normal.
We're allowed to,
you know, it's an emotion.
We're like programmed to do that.
I guess, I don't know, it just really bothers me sometimes, like, especially whenever I think about female athletes and, like, gender and, like, race. Like, I remember when Simone Biles won her gold medals, people were, you know, saying, being like, oh, but she's not even attractive. Like, she's like, so muscular.
What
like,
does that have
shouldn't be in a bikini.
She's not
like,
attractive.
She's not pretty. She's really dark. Like, she's just not an ideal woman. And I'm like, okay, but
honestly,
because of how you're seeing her, you're, you know, taking away from the fact that she's an Olympic athlete. She's won multiple gold medals.
Right.
She's strong. She's smart. She's
Stronger
powerful.
than me.
How come that's, you know, how come those things aren't more important than what her gender is or what her gender role says that she should be?
Whole idea too is like the whole thing about like, oh, she's too like muscular to be in a swimsuit, like a bikini, whatever. Is like just that whole thing is like, what should a woman look like then?
Right.
Exactly.
How should they look different. To be able to wear this or to wear that?
No, but it's
or just in general.
Exactly.
Like, I don't get it.
Because they're like, oh, she's too muscular, but she's too big to wear the bikini, and it's like,
or like,
oh,
she's too skinny. She's too skinny,
It's
so
like,
she doesn't fill it out.
What do you want? And
Yeah,
I guess
like,
no, but I could say the same thing about men because I have seen men like I don't want to like just say it's just women because I have seen men before being like, well, women expect us to have like abs and be
Right.
no,
that's true.
It's unfair.
Right, you can empathize with that because the expectations are so high, you know, especially
for everyone. Like their expectations are super high.
Just like society standards are
ridiculous.
Yeah, I guess what we're trying to say about gender roles is that gender roles don't determine who you are, and they don't determine what you should and shouldn't do, and what you can and can't do.
Yeah, it's
because
really just like
only
it's
you
made
know.
up. It's just another way to kind of like put
it's
someone in a box.
It's another way to put us in a box and to kind of stifle people and feel like people have to be a certain way and you don't. So if you don't follow the gender roles, that's good for you.
Good for you.
I was like also
good for you.
Oh wait, baby's got a point.
Yesterday that video you sent me, it's another video, but she said it like made a comment about how like the fact that like we're in the society we live in being like a capitalist society, you need oppression. So like
right
in the society like they need things like gender roles and like
in order to sell
things because like to create a market.
Because they're like, oh well, I'm not feminine enough. I need to do these things to be more feminine. I'm not masculine enough. I need to do these things
to get this.
Yeah.
Like, why do women are they expected to shave and body hair, which is natural, by the way, on everybody? It's supposed to be protect your skin. Like, it's just there. Why is it that on women it's gross, it's nasty? Women have to shave their armpits, they have to shave their legs, they can't have body hair on their areas. But men, like, it's manly to have hair. Like,
the amount of body hair you have does not determine your masculinity or femininity.
No,
despite what gender rules
that's
say.
ridiculous to me. Like, it's just fucking hate it.
Like, look at these eyebrows. Come on.
I just don't understand, like, why people just think it's, like, sane to put, like, just gender on these, like things. Anyway, nails, makeup, like, all these different things. Like, why?
If my boo wants some nails,
it should be a freedom of expression.
Like, come on. Like,
freedom of expression.
Why not?
Like,
why does that
matter to me?
I know even me, like, before, like, you know, I opened up my mind, just the way I was raised, like, those kind of things to me were, like, weird. Like, I saw a guy and I was like, why is he wearing that? Like, why is he wearing a dress? Like, why does he have nail polish? Why does he have makeup? But then it's like, because he wants to.
Yeah.
Like, let him slay. Let him do what he wants. Let him wear what he wants.
Wear what you want.
I would agree with that.
Everyone would just be them. Like, that's my biggest thing. Is like, if they're not affecting you, if they're not coming for you, then leave them alone. Let them be happy. Let them live their lives. That's everyone's ultimate goal, is to be happy. So if that's what makes them happy, then let them be happy. Let them be themselves and express themselves like the way they want to. Yeah, like, on anybody, get you some nail polish. Boy, girl, whatever you identify as, get you some nail polish. If you want some nail polish, like, it's cute. If you like it, then put it on.
If you think it's ugly, and then don't wear it.
You don't have to wear it.
Like,
no
why?
problem.
I just feel like
people.
I don't know. It's just, like I said before, like, as a society where everyone is so different, no matter what, like, even if you're the same race, like, you're never gonna look the same as someone. Why is it so hard for us to accept differences? Like, when that's really what makes us human, is, like, our differences.